how many of us are, in Jets Nation have been really kind of ready to let Crowder go because of that contract? If Joe Douglas is asking him to take a pay cut at this point, because what it is that we feel is like that money can be used better in different, in a different position. I think that may actually lead to what it is that we do with the cornerback room. And I'll just say that because I do believe that part of the reason why it is that we have in this question right now is because Crowder doesn't have any guaranteed money.
Right.
Right. So, he can go at this point, or he can take a pay cut and he can be here and he can be part of what it is that we're trying to do to improve. He'll just do it at less than 11 and change a million and change a year. I don't know. Alexis, if you want to run that, Harrison, you got something, or Jim, if you're ready to let it go, let it go.
I mean, they asked him today. That's it. Saleh was asked if Crowder's part of the offense, and of course he is. And I know people are going to say that's just a cop-out answer, but Jamison Crowder was the best receiver on the team for the last 2 years. And he's consistently been one of the best slot receivers in the NFL the whole time he's been in the NFL. Like CJ always kept saying, you do not add by subtracting, the addition without subtraction. Right now, we have a rookie quarterback. I want him to have as many weapons as possible, as many guys that can show as possible. Give him Crowder in the slot, put more in there, throw Berrios in on the outside. Cole wants to show as many people as possible. So I just think it's just like what, earlier in the season when people were like, just because his money isn't guaranteed, maybe he can get cut. But it doesn't make any sense. Like the only reason you do that is if the player's not good anymore or if you need the money. Well, the Jets are flush in cash. We got plenty of money, and the guy's amazing. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I think Saleh was sincere. He's part of the plans, and he's going to be on this team, and he's going to be a contributing factor.
I agree with the fact that he's been sincere, but I also think that the one thing that stood out was he said that that's more of a joke question.
Well, I think here's the thing, and it was the way they did it. He asked him the question about Crowder. He said, 100% this guy's on our team. Then Rich Cimini decided to poke the bear a little bit and ask about the financials. And he's like, well, that's not my place. That's Joe's place. I thought that was a great answer. It's basically saying you're asking me a question I can't answer. He was just because he was asking like, oh, well, how is the money going to that's not for Robert Saleh. That's like having a player on the team and asking him, about somebody else. What the hell are you doing? Like this.
Look, it's hard, and he's right. It's a Joe question because at this point in time, Crowder's still not there, and if he's got questions, if he has some, I don't know, maybe some missing.
Well, this is voluntary. I think that's important to point out. Yeah. I mean, this is voluntary. Players are still. I feel like that's like missed. Too many people are like, this guy's not here. This guy's not here. This is voluntary. The guy's probably at home working 5 times harder than you could possibly imagine he is. So Jamison Crowder's the guy, man. He's the guy, and he's never been a problem. He's never been a head case. He's never been an issue. Always does what he's told. I think this is, again, people just looking at the money, not seeing it's guaranteed, and making a story out of something just to make a story.
Right,
because he also has a little bit of an injury concern. Also,
if I can chime in, today's Robert Saleh press conference from OTAs, he was specifically asked about that. And he was asked about Crowder, and just to circle back on what you just got finished talking about, Robert Saleh said that he plans on using Jamison Crowder in this offense. He feels that he's going to be a very important part of this team. So the fact that he's sitting out and the fact that everybody's kind of jumping into conclusions about, well, Crowder's going to get traded because of the contract, and if Joe's going to ask him for a pay cut or whatever, that's a negotiation for his agent. That's not for Jamison Crowder to make up his mind. His agent's going to have a conversation with Jamison. And look, if Crowder does not want to take a pay cut, that's probably a signal to Joe Douglas that, okay, we're going to have to move you. In which now Joe Douglas knows in his mind, okay, if he's got this dollar amount allocated toward whatever, I mean, the Jets are flush with cash. It's not as if they're up against a salary cap and they have to worry about restructuring contracts so they could bring in other talent. They could do whatever the hell they want. So, to me, having the decision on whether or not to keep Crowder or cut Crowder or trade Crowder or whatever they decide to do is a complete luxury. But Robert Saleh loves this guy and wants him to be a part of this, wants him to be a part of his football team. So, I just don't see, unless somebody wows the Jets with a deal to get Jamison Crowder, that Jamison Crowder will, in fact, be a New York Jet for 2021, and he will be on the field playing with Zach Wilson and company, and he will continue his productive streak over the past 2 years.